Hello, English 10. I'm creating this video to reinforce some of the things I'll be saying in class about the English 10 portfolio. So one thing I wanted to do or think about was kind of to go back to how do you even create a portfolio. So once you have a Google account, you can go into Google Drive and create new, go to more, and then look for Google Sites. And here I don't want to create this in a share folder, so let me change what I'm doing here. All right, and it will create a new site for me that I can work in. I'm going to go back and forth between the new site and a site that I've already created a sample portfolio on. So here you'll notice that this is empty and blank and needs a title and some information from you. If we look at the sample portfolio, I've titled this Sample Portfolio English 1011. On the heading for the home page, I've put my information. Probably this needs a space here. I could do something like this, which you will also do your name and then English 10 portfolio. One thing that you'll need to do is create each of the pages that are required for the portfolio. You can come out to the sample portfolio to look to see what the pages are titled, or the handout that I give you in class will also detail the same information that's on the sample. So talks about having a home page and some questions to consider for that home page. Talks about being a reader page, being a writer, and building community. Next semester in English 11, we will create the final page, which is about research and critical thinking. This semester so far, we're going to first start out working on the home page and the being a reader page, since both of those pages are things that we've already done a lot of work on. You've talked about who you are as a writer and a reader. You've made a collage about your writing, and so you might be able to develop some information for that home page. The being a reader page, we've tried out a lot of different reading strategies, and so you'll have some artifacts to display and some things to talk about on that page as well. And so those are the first two pages that we'll be worried about this semester. So back to the site. Once you've titled this, and I'll just say make up a new title. Then if you want to create the other pages beyond the home page, you can just come out here to pages and do add a page, name it being a reader, click done, and then it will appear. If you go back to the home page, you'll now have a link so that people that are viewing can click, and you can also click to get to that next page to make changes. So I want to go to the sample portfolio again for a moment. There really will be a couple of key components on your portfolio. One is some kind of a text box, and so you can do that by choosing insert text box, and it will put a text box out there for you. And the text box will be your reflection. I've given you some sample questions that might work to help you develop information and a nice paragraph or two on that topic. The other component for most pages will be what I call artifacts. And these are actual pieces of your reading or your writing. You can see here I've added a couple of annotations. You might put journals here, or your response paragraphs, anything that shows you reading and the strategies you're using with your reading. You can, in addition to the reflection about you as a reader, add text boxes that will give information directly about the artifacts that we're seeing and why they're important and how they show your reading. So these artifacts, because they were done by hand, I added those as images. When we get to perhaps the Being a Writer page, or maybe even on the Being a Reader page, you may need to upload in some other way. So you could upload from your computer, or if you have things on a Google Drive, you can upload them. Here I've uploaded an actual paper, and if we look at the finished portfolio sample, here your readers can actually look through and read the paper to see what you've done. On the Being a Writer page, eventually you'll have several drafts to show the revision that the paper has gone through, but here I just have one sample artifact up at this point. So when your portfolio is closer to finished, you'll have both some introductory material that reflects on your progress as a writer or reader, as well as artifacts that show that progress, and then some text that talks about each artifact and how it shows your progress. So I hope this gives some insight for how to go about this. At this point in time, I think just creating these two, the home page by creating a portfolio, and then adding a Being a Reader page by going to Pages and just adding something, is enough for us to get started, and then we will talk more about what should be there and how things should look in the future. Thank you.